The 2022 Indian FTR. Indian Motorcycle revamped and rebranded its FTR 1200 model as the FTR ahead of 2022 to maintain the momentum of the civilian version of its proven flat-track platform. A new paint package dresses up the new version that comes complete with standard goodies such as a top-drawer suspension system and a retuned engine that now comes with rear-cylinder deactivation for improved comfort. 2022 Indian FTR design. As a street-legal version of a bona fide flat-track race bike, the general tone and tenor of the new FTR design is established by its namesake, the FTR 750. A sculpted front fender on the FTR leads the way with foil-shaped uprights to shunt the wind around the forks for low drag penetration. A lightweight, cut-down construction limits unsprung weight at the front axle and delivers supple suspension responses. You can have it even lighter it seems since carbon fiber components are available in the accessories catalog, or you can go ahead and spring for the FTR carbon model. The blackout treatment begins in earnest right out of the gate and touches just about everywhere you can imagine with only the exhaust header pipes escaping the darkness. Beefy inverted fork stanchions impart a sense of strength to the front end with a classic single round headlight housing and standoff-style turn signals to handle the forward lighting. Both the headlight and blinkers come in LED tech for effective two-way visibility with the world around you, plus the headlight rocks a DRL ring for the extra daytime safety it brings. The Blackout ProTaper handlebar runs 1.5 inches shorter this year to deliver crisp handling and improve control, especially at speed. The low-profile faux fuel tank hump comes shot in a matte black finish with a red mark that picks up the color of the red pinstriping on the rims and the rear shock spring to tie the bike together visually. At 30.7 inches off the deck, the seat height is an acceptable compromise between dead short cruisers and jacked-up crotch rockets, and should be in the comfort zone of a fairly wide range of riders. As a Joe Public model, the FTR comes with a compact pillion pad, JC handles and fold-up foot pegs to accommodate a passenger if you like to share the fun with a friend. An LED taillight rides in the tip of the tail well out of harm's way, but the rest of the gear in the rear is mounted on a single side hugger that carries the rear blinkers and license plate. When viewed from the right side, the sharply upswept silencers add volumes to the FTR's flat-track chops as they hold themselves well clear of the tarmac. 2022 Indian FTR chassis. This machine is eager in the corners, quick to flick, and responsive to reversals to deliver the full handling package. Welded tubular members make up the perimeter-style trellis frame on the FTR that in turn uses the engine as a stressed member. This eliminates a significant chunk of framework in the downtube, cradle areas, resulting in a lighter weight frame. In keeping with its racebike origins, the steering head sets the tone with some fairly aggressive geometry, namely the 25.3-degree rake angle and dead short, 3.9 inches of trail over a 60-inch wheelbase that is sure to make this machine eager in the corners, quick to flick, and responsive to reversals to deliver the full handling package. The suspension comes off the top shelf with 43mm inverted Sachs cartridge forks up front ahead of a ZF Sachs piggyback coil over shock, both fully adjustable with 4.7 inches of travel that should be sufficient for public road use. Cast alloy wheels round out the rolling chassis with Metzeler Sportec M9RR hoops in a 120/70ths up front and 180/55ths out back. The Z rating indicates that this rubber will tolerate everything you and the bike itself can dish out and more, and serves as an indicator for the overall capability of the new FTR model. Brembo anchors take care of business with dual, 4-piston calipers that bite 320mm front discs ahead of a twin-bore caliper and 260mm discs. ABS comes with the standard equipment package. 2022 Indian FTR drivetrain. Like a precious gem in an elaborate setting, the beating heart is still the real star of the show on the FTR. The liquid-cooled V-twin on the FTR brings the goods with a whopping 120 horsepower on tap at 7,750 revolutions per minute, backed up by 87 pounds-o grunt that peaks at $6 grand even. Bore and stroke mic out at 102mm and 73.6mm respectively for a deeply oversquare layout, but that's necessary to develop all them ponies. Same with the spicy 12.5:1 compression ratio. There's just no way around it if you want that power. Just like there's no way you'll get away with running anything but top hook road champagne with the highest octane rating. A rear-cylinder deactivation feature helps cut down on the heat that washes up over the pilot in stop-and-go conditions, as does the improved heat management system to increase rider comfort. I wonder, can you turn that off in the winter? Asking for a chilly friend. Cruise control serves as the only additional electronic engine control feature for a fairly raw and direct power delivery. Power flows through a 6-speed transmission and tough-as-nails O-ring chain and sprocket-type final drive for a top speed around 124 miles per hour. 2022 Indian FTR price. MSRP on the new FTR is $13,000 and it only comes in black. Like Mr. Ford once said, you can have any color you want, as long as you want black. And so it is with the successor to the outgoing FTR 1200. Black Smoke is the name of this specific shade of the void of existential anguish, and it comes with bright red highlights that really make the package pop visually. You can score one of the new 2022 FTR models for $12,999 MSRP. 2022 Indian FTR competitors. Indian finds itself as some pretty rare company with its not quite replica flat-track race bike, but I think Ducati's Land of Joy lineup might just have a worthy competitor for the FTR with its Scrambler 1100 Pro. Ducati Scrambler 1100 Pro. Both bikes roll with a custom vibe that plays homage to their origins as homegrown specialty bikes that were built, more or less, on the UJM-style machines of the 60s and 70s. The Scrambler carries itself in much the same way with pared-down sheet metal, race-style headlight, and upswept exhaust for oodles of trackside vibes. Greater than quote. Title equals not an ounce is wasted on the superfluous, and so the 1100 Pro rolls with a clean, mean and purpose-driven design. A line equals center greater than Ducati didn't skimp on the blackout paint either, though it was a little more ambitious with its two-tone, white and yellow, Ocean Drive, color package. The Scrambler even has a single side hugger plus plate holder out back to make it look similar both coming and going. Adjustable suspension front and rear is a constant across the board, but Ducati gained some ground in the chassis section with its Bosch cornering ABS feature as standard equipment that's superior to the vanilla ABS on the FTR. The Scrambler's beating heart is a 1079 ccl twin engine with a much more easygoing personality due to its 86 horsepower and 65 pounds of torque that falls quite short of the stank the FTR can put on the road with its 120/87 power figures. Duck gets them back in the electronics with a trio of riding modes and Duke's own traction control feature to which Indian has no answer. You'll pay for those electronic goodies, and by association, the reduced output that comes with it though. The Scrambler 1100 Pro rolls for $13,495 to leave you with a choice to make between brute power and safety features. Read our full review of the Ducati Scrambler 1100 Pro. He said, "It's really impressive how much juice Indian is able to wring out of its largest FTR engine, and for performance-minded riders, the above choice is made simple. A bike with training wheels or a proper tarmac burner that relies more on the rider's skill set. As for the US market, Indian enjoys a singular position as the other US manufacturer has nothing that can compete directly with this road-wise flat tracker." She said. My wife and fellow motorcycle rider, Alan Hinton, says, "It took a bit for the FTR line to mature, and the new FTR isn't simply just a name change from the prior FTR 1200. This is the FTR we always wanted the FTR to be. It's finally in a position to compete in that naked bike segment because, seriously, who is going to flat track race it anyway? Fully adjustable Sachs suspension, significantly improved throttle response, and more than ample power and torque give the FTR a mature feel that it just didn't have before." 2022 Indian FTR specifications.
If you liked this video, please share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to hit the subscribe button.